My mom, her only mission in life was to marry a missionary, and she did. And my dad was a missionary in Mexico for 6 years, and he traveled a lot and he preached a lot. So my whole life was always me being the person who was the daughter of these figures that so many other people looked up to. And so with that came a lot of expectation. But when I was 9, the reality of my family just broke forth, and it turned out that my dad is actually very addicted to a lot of sin. My dad was always distant, as you can imagine someone living in that lifestyle would be. But my mom, she was on her face every day with Jesus. She was in her word every single day. She was what guided us through that. And then into high school, I slipped further and further from this faith that had always grounded me, and I began to just kind of fall into little things, nothing serious, but specifically with men. I loved male attention, and I didn't realize at the time that I loved it so much because I wanted it from my dad and I didn't have it. And so I developed a deep sense of shame for that need and that desire. So I didn't talk about it, and I just continued along my merry way, and I excelled at everything I was supposed to excel at, but I was already feeling so empty. And when I was a senior, my mom got diagnosed with cancer, and by February she had passed. So it was pretty quick and hard. That was the moment for me where I just said, no more, no more. And so I fell into drinking pretty heavily. I fell into a lot of sexual sin. And again, I excelled, I thrived, I led clubs, I had a great GPA, I did all these things, so no one knew I was so messed up. So as I'm navigating that, I'm graduating, I'm trying to figure out what to do with my life, I was just this shell, this miserable, incomplete shell of a human. In March of 2018, Jesus, it's like he looked at my life and he said, no more. Like it was this defining, critical month of my life where everything was ripped away. I finally broke up with the person I was dating because it was so bad that it was even enough for me to say it's worth being alone than to be with you. And in that, I got really, really close with one of my coworkers at Ryder, who's from PAC, and she invited me to a worship night there. But that night was just so beautiful for me. And I met so many wonderful people that night, including my current fiance. So I met my fiance Eric that night, who pursued me so faithfully and so earnestly. I started to really dive just into the community there. And about 2 months into that, I experienced the moment where Jesus sealed me. Like it was a very clear, like, you are mine now and nothing will ever change that again for you. And I went to see one of my dearest friends in Ohio. She's known me since I was 4. I've known her family always. But I remember her and her mom, when I got to their house, they were like, we've been praying for this for 7 years. We've been praying for this for 7 years. And just to see that level of love and determination from them, they didn't give up on me, and they did not give up on Jesus. They knew he would be faithful to them and to me in that. And the little girl in me that has just always wanted to rest in my Father's arms just broke. And so much just became clear about what Jesus sees in me as his daughter and the value I have in him, and that there is nothing I have done or will ever do that will take me from his love. One of my pastors from Immerse, she asked me such a powerful question when I told her my story. And she said, where was Jesus in that moment? And she was asking me, where was Jesus in the room where my mom was laying dead? And that question wrecked me because I had to finally align with the fact that Jesus was there in that moment. And he has been there in every single moment. And so what I would love to say to baby me is that Jesus is there. And that in moments of feeling alone or feeling shame, he will draw even closer.